ready? One day a guy named Travis asked me a question.
Hey there, Kareem. Nice to meet you. Wanna smoke?
And I said, sure.
And that was the day we became...
Best friends with high points.
I think we got it this time.
And hello, it is Travis.
Sup, it's Kareem.
Well, hello. How are we doing today?
I'm high as fuck and I'm playing with your fidget spinner.
Fidget spinners. I have one in my hand as well. It's a different one. So what are we talking about today? Anything fun?
I guess how I met you.
Kind of close to like How I Met Your Mother.
What?
Well, I
what?
mean, like the TV show. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I was going with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just know that I met you at one point in time, and now I smoke and record podcast episodes with you.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, to think of that, the two of us have known each other for a very short amount of time, but it feels like, a much longer time than what the calendar actually has been.
I think that just because we're like kind of similar but opposite.
Yeah, we
And-
definitely, are two different types of personalities for sure. And even just kind of likes and dislikes of, who we are and what we are not. It's different, but we get along
Yeah.
fairly well.
Yeah, so I mean, I was working for my uncle in said town, and you were a regular. You were coming in often, and at one point, you just really asked me if I wanted just to like smoke with you one day after work, and I said, "Yeah, sure," because you were like really close. You were just around the corner, and I said, "All right." So that first session of just hanging out and smoking was so cool and dope that I think that we just started doing it more consistently. You started asking me, and
Yeah, like we had a couple drinks, I think at the beginning of it, and then all of a sudden it's like a couple drinks were done, and it's like, hey, do you want to come over?
smoke.
Let's smoke. And then
Yeah.
it was a nice day out, so we sat outside, and that was fun.
Yeah, like
No,
I've like
and-
vegged out on the
Listened to a lot of
backyard.
music, so that's when I found out that you're in love with Nelly and,
Furtado.
yes, Furtado,
Okay,
not the other one.
I mean
Uh,
he's cool. Just the one I'm in love with is Nelly Furtado.
Yeah. So yeah, but then I think we definitely hit it off right there. Hit it. But no, I think that first day of actually hanging out was the day that we actually started having like the deep conversations that just became at times natural, and we just hung out more and more.
Unfortunately, the rest was history. Just kidding. No, yeah, it was a good time because meeting you kind of felt like a divine intervention in some aspects, because I really kind of felt like I was in autopilot mode and I just was trying to cope with the year I've had, and I'll definitely elaborate more on that year in a future episode, I'm sure. But you came at a really weird point in my life, and I just felt like I found a true friend and someone who was not only a great listener but a great educator on a lot of things.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, that from my standpoint of it, I felt so compelled to continue to get to know you, like some type of spirit or something was kind of more like pushing me, like go talk to Kareem, like go do this, like yes, some of it, started out as more like an attraction type thing, but it very much was a inner force of like
Well,
I needed to talk to you.
way to
like,
make that awkward.
that's what we do.
But yeah, I mean, I get your point. I think you should finish now, but yeah.
No, it started out that way, but and then it's to the point of something was telling me that I needed to talk to you, and now once I got to know
my
you,
big fat ass.
and once I got to know you,
With my big fat bulge.
bulge.
Was it my?
It was your at the time he had long hair. He had some very long hair, and he was talked about it and how he wanted to donate it and help someone else that actually needed it. Make what was it? Wigs for cakes.
Wigs for kids, buddy.
Wigs for kids.
Yes, sir.
But no, I think understanding that he wanted to do that, it actually showed his heart, and it just made me want to get to know him a little bit more. So we continued to hang out. We smoked more and more. And then we just had this wonderful idea of, starting this podcast, So it started out from,
I think I should take a hit of weed. A hit of weed. I should take a hit.
Hitted.
I should hit it. Each weed.
Hitted the weed.
Each weed did. I should hit the bong or the bowl every single time you say the words, because and mine I think would be I say like a lot.
You say
You're picking up the lighter with your foot.
Yes, I'm multi-footed.
So yeah, we met in a pretty organic, awesome way. You're an awesome dude, and I think that I consider you like truly one of the greatest people I've ever met in my entire life, if not the best person I've ever met in my life, because you feel like just honestly like I don't know, just like a true best friend. And what that fucking meaning of a best friend even is I feel like you embody that to me, like my definition of it. And the fact that we've worked on the studio together in your home that you own, and the fact that we transitioned from the basement to your work office to then this attic that we turned into this dope ass studio, and it's still in progress, by the way.
Yeah, we basically went from outside patio to the attic to now to a studio and anything in between. You're I could get him really high with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So we kind of now we have the studio. We have a nice little couch in here. We have some lighting. We have some microphones, where we can actually kind of sit back and relax a little bit. Have the dialogue between the two of us as we continue.
You guys got to see it. I mean, we're, it's still in progress right now. So we really got like the carpet and the couch, and we have all the production equipment. We have a nice fireplace heater.
Do you have anything specific that's kind of like your favorite? Like, you look at it and it kind of make you smile, or
the
like
live
anything?
sign.
The live sign?
The live sign, and anything in here is my favorite. It's this really cool, like, glowy light that says live, with a little microphone.
I definitely think, like the live sign, and even like the two lights by the door, and like the different colors, and even just kind of looking at it, just kind of all goes together. Like, it's kind of like this little studio that's kind of been...
That's kind of what?
That's another word.
Kind of. I've actually noticed, even when we watched a lot of Shark Tank, all of the entrepreneurs coming in would say kind of, and kind of. I'm like, kind of is funny because it's trying to be absolute, not absolute, while sounding.
I think some of it is self-consciousness that comes in there. Like, you're doubting yourself a little bit. So you're sorry, we have nervous habits,
But isn't that cool? Like, I feel like I just discovered that in you. I never noticed that.
Yeah, I think, because we're listening to each other.
I think I've finally gotten high enough to talk somewhat slower so that I can now actually hear you. I'm just kidding. That sounds really fucked up.
Yeah, but But back to the
I've been
studio,
listening, not that
what
he
we were
talks
talking
fast.
about was it looks like it's been thought out and it's been in place for years, but it really is just a concept that's occurred very quickly because we knew what we wanted to do and we have this passion.
We also have the lights too. We didn't get to finish that.
Oh,
We got the cool lights, and we have all the records for my house, where my mom's home, and I have like 500 records. You know, like 400 of them probably just being pure contemporary artists that are like, you know, all brand new, sealed, not even open, because a lot of times when I bought those, my record player was like damaged, so I didn't want to risk playing it on there until Travis ended up buying a brand new one for the studio, and it's phenomenal the way he hooked it up with the speakers, and the system is really it's going great. And I'm, you know, now we're putting up the art decor and other glow lights, and I'm gonna have a hint of, you know, homoerotica, because that's the part in me that I love that's my aesthetic. And I just really feel like this is like a nice little home base / studio.
Yeah, so maybe once we get it more put together, we'll, you know, take some pictures and actually post them on Instagram or something, you know. So
We'll show you the behind the scenes of it, like the first days. I took recordings of all that.
The first days of, you know, attic studio progress on, you know, the rug showing up in the carpet, and well, the rug is the carpet. But, you know, with the sofa, you know, and even just pictures of when we had it in the office when I was working around it, you know, that was always fun. And, you know, it was fun also because I was on video calls and like my boss is like, "What's all that microphones behind you?" And like, "Oh, I have a podcast I'm starting."
OnlyFans. I'm just kidding.
That's some microphone booms.
Oh, you can. Yeah, never mind. You can still do that on OnlyFans. I didn't have to be sexual. I just had OnlyFans. You're recording
True.
separate content.
You could, if you want us to make an OnlyFans, let us know. We can have exclusive content.
Ears open, mouth shut. You do as I say. Yes, you like to be spanked. That's me. That would be me. Like trying to get paid on the phone, like as a
Russian daddy.
Like, yeah, like, you know, when they call on the phone, you have like a canker fetish. I would just, hello, you like to be whipped? Yes, I sound like man because I am man.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the first episode in the studio, correct?
Yeah.
It seems like it's, you know, but the studio's only really been complete for about a week, so.
Yeah, I think we tried to kind of go in initially doing it, but we were just really enjoying the space so much. We were letting the creative juices flow, and we just felt like before we go down that journey of fully feeling the you know, the realness of this studio, I think we wanted just to kind of have fun and really just explain our origin story a little bit more of how we met and how this all came to be.
Started out as a conversation that was very natural, not through, you know, an app of, you know, anything. It was just showing up, getting coffee, and saying hello. It's bringing conversation back to reality, I think, and kind of where we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a really fun exploration, because we're not only going to be learning more about life and the topics we'll talk about as time goes on, but learning more about each other and like who we really are, because I'm sure there'll be a divide in certain topics where you agree and I disagree, and
Yeah, for sure, and vice versa, and just also just
and we'll see like who cancels who first.
hush over there. But no, it's like we get to know each other. You know, we'll have fun, we'll laugh,
Hopefully y'all will laugh, cry, smile, get angry,
smoke.
Yeah. Speaking of smoke, whoa, that joint was like, the joint did me in, I think.
That joint was from 4th of July. It was at my parents' house, and they took it back from them.
Really?
I hid it there.
Oh my god. I feel like my head is on the opposite side of the studio staring back at me.
And it's also nice in the studio. We have this like fireplace that has these LED lights in it, so it makes it nice and homey.
Yeah, it's really, I just like the aesthetic that it goes for. It gives me very like 70s with the vibe is giving me very 70s like Art Deco mixed with a little bit of like rustic.
Rustic, and we're in an attic. It's an unfinished attic for sure. There's random holes in the ceiling. There's some pipes, but it
It
works
looks like
out.
as if
It works well.
It looks like basically what it looks like is if there was a like 70s home in like Wyoming with like rustic like furniture, and then they just came back from Miami and decided to hang up some things.
I think the only thing in Wyoming they have is like buffalo or something, right?
I don't know. I'm just trying to give you like just a small like farmhouse or a big farmhouse, whatever. It looks just like a farmhouse in the 70s with some like Miami like inspirations
Yeah.
through the
Definitely
homoerotica
some,
and
like birdcage vibes.
yeah, the color patterns like the pink and blues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. And like we're gonna add more posters and art decor and
It's going to be very much
Bean
become
bags.
us. Like
oh
it's
yeah. Hell yeah. I mean it's us right now. I like just looking. I mean there's a giant Nelly Furtado poster in here. What more can I ask for? And Avril. And then we'll get our favorite bands too. Like we can get like Korn posters and Chevelle, Kings of Leon,
Mm-hmm. Triumph.
Europe.
Europe.
So, you guys, you're gonna see it. Eventually, we'll start live streaming on YouTube. I know we're gonna get our video camera and we have one. We can just start filming us now being on the couch.
Yeah, and all of it's a learning curve, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, y'all can join us on the couch and just live chat with us, and it'll be so much fun just to talk to other people about
Random topics.
high points. Yeah.
High points. The only criteria we have is,
Just make a high point.
just make a high point, let
And-
loose, have fun.
And on that note, and on that point,
A high point.
and on that low point, because we're saying goodbye.
But until next time.
Okay, until next time.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.